So I don't know if y'all know, but back when Israel invaded Ramallah in 2002, they took over the TV stations and they started broadcasting porn. When Palestinian residents of the besieged West Bank town of Ramallah turned on their TVs over the weekend, what they encountered was neither news nor any of the usual Palestinian Authority programming. They encountered pornographic movie clips. 3 of the 4 TV stations in Ramallah, headquarters of Yasser Arafat, had been occupied by Israeli troops. The town's remaining TV station was meanwhile running a crawl at the bottom of the screen explaining that the porn clips were the work of the occupying forces. We urge parents to take precautions, it read. An Israeli army spokesman told Agence France Presse that their forces had nothing to do with such clips and even blamed Arafat for the footage. Arafat is willing to go low in order to make himself look better in this uncomfortable situation, said the spokesman. However, an Israeli Foreign Ministry spokesman, taking into account that the porn-playing stations were after all occupied, was less sweeping in his denial, saying, "I cannot believe that Israeli soldiers would engage in such despicable behavior." He called it shameful. Why would Israeli troops program porn? If it was a freelance operation by individual soldiers, then it was merely an act of contempt. It was an act planned by military authorities, however, then it can be read in a variety of ways. Modern psychological warfare often makes use of unlikely media. When U.S. forces had Panama's Manuel Noriega surrounded a few years ago, they bombarded him around the clock with raucous rock music. FBI agents have done the same in domestic siege situations. The idea apparently is to locate a cultural form that discomforts the target and to subject the target to an unending stream of it. Some claim that it also masks negotiations with noise. Pornography is virtually unavailable in most Muslim societies except on the internet. With the rise of Islamist values, even belly dancers in such officially secular places as Egypt have been wearing their once revealing costumes over full dresses. While some Ramallah residents accuse the Israelis of attempting to corrupt the town's youth, that is an unlikely stratagem. More likely, it is the sudden exposure to hardcore imagery would come as a psychological shock to those unaccustomed to it. Replacing Palestinian news and other programming with such material also increases the stress and frustration of the population. Remember, Ramallah's residents weren't able to leave their homes even to buy groceries. Their need for information was intense. Israeli forces had the option of taking the TV stations off the air entirely. Instead, they left them operating but broadcasting replacement imagery. The pornography may well have been even more demoralizing than no programming at all. Finally, many Israeli critics under the normal programming of Palestinian Authority media to be morally objectionable in its own right. They regard it as a platform for anti-Semitic extremism and encouragement to suicide bomber martyrdom. Yeah, because all TV is propaganda. But the reason why they use porn is because your vices are what control you. Now, listen here. This is the Marquis de Sade. Lust is to the other passions what the nervous fluid is to life. It supports them all, lends strength to them. All ambition, cruelty, avarice, revenge are all founded on lust. Right? That's the Marquis de Sade. Now, what does St. Augustine say? This is St. Augustine. Thus, a good man, though a slave, is free, but a wicked man, though a king, is a slave. For he serves not one man alone, but what is worse, as many masters as he has vices. So this is why things like pornography are pushed on us, right? Pornography, booze, drugs, because whatever your addiction is, food, TV, anything, whatever your addiction is, that vice is what rules you.